Dark Souls 2 is up, and we should be good to go. New game, no.
New game.
I am on Frozen Elum Lois. If I recall correctly, we finished the Valley of Erotic Equestrian Encounters. Oh, I forgot to put Discord into Do Not Disturb. That's the thing I'm gonna forget today. There's always one thing I forget. Let me do that really quick.
We've almost reached 100 play hours on this character. I just
Yeah.
realized.
And 134 total hours into Dark Souls 2. So continuing the strange phenomenon of Souls games are by a huge margin my most played I think most played overall. Okay, so there's a couple multiplayer games that skew things, because of course I have more hours in Hunt than most single player games. I think the most hours I have in a game on Steam is CS2, which used to be CS:GO, so there's several hundred hours I have in that. But then below those, the most hours I have into any single player game is by a huge margin Elden Ring, Dark Souls 1, and Dark Souls 2. Of course, with this one, part of that is because of, this stream. But it's not all this stream. I did start another character in this game, although I haven't played that character in a little bit. Now, wish the kill counter worked on Linux. Yeah, once I finally finish the DLCs, we're gonna... What is it? You have to go into offline mode, and then you can check the global death counter, and that should show my deaths, right, Dylan?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Hello, Bloodshot, by the way. Thank you for the sub. Bloodshot was... By the way, do you prefer Bloodshot or, Luke, right? I'm so used to calling you Bloodshot. Don't mind Luke versus Bloodshot. Yeah, even at QuakeCon, in person, I'm still calling you Bloodshot, which, after a while, I was like, maybe this is weird at this point. You always reach that stage with someone where it's when you know somebody online, it's, just through online, it's yeah, that, you just refer to them by their username, or whatever. But then when you hang out with someone in person a lot, that starts to feel weird. Calling them Dick Explosion 67 or whatever. It's maybe I should just call you Bob. Yeah. Alright, what are we doing? Anyway, Bloodshot just finished Doom 3 for the first time. They were I see why this was controversial at the time, but damn, that's a good game. And I'm yeah, right? It's so good!
It's so fun.
There's no bad Doom. On a similar subject, I just finally finished Dark Ages, the base game.
Yay.
So first of all, that game has roughly 272 final bosses.
Yep.
And second of all, WoW Hugo really liked Ornstein and Smo.
Yep.
Which actually was... So, everyone knows how I am with bosses. I didn't really like the ones in Dark Ages, which isn't really a knock against Dark Ages. I really don't like most bosses at least in first-person shooters. Somebody pointed out... Actually, my friend's son pointed out how weird it is that I'm yeah, I don't like bosses. Some of my favorite games are Dark Souls.
Yep.
Well, I can't hate bosses that much, I guess. But I didn't love the bosses in Dark Ages, but I did actually quite enjoy the Ornstein and Smo boss fight. I think just because it had the sort of... I'm gonna die here, aren't I? With 44,000 souls. Maybe I should not do that. Maybe I should be going back here. I think because and if you've played the game, you probably... I assume you know what I'm talking about when I say the Ornstein and Smo boss fight. It's I guess without spoilers, it's a boss fight with two different characters. And I enjoyed that one, I think, because of the sort of back and forth positioning and movement it involved. Because I always really enjoy combat when it's like you have to keep thinking about your movement and your positioning, but it isn't just there's like a give and take element. That's something that is really that's really good in like original Half-Life when fighting the HECU Marines. There's a lot of like you push up, but then they force you to kind of like retreat and rethink, and so you try another path, and then they try another path. Like there's a lot of dynamic back and forth that happens real fast. It's something that Halo does really well in a different way. Anyway, this is a huge long rabbit trail, but I enjoyed that boss a lot. Because of that, because I felt like I have to keep thinking about where I'm moving, and sometimes they move and cut me off, so I have to rethink, and like that sort of dynamicism is really, really fun and compelling to me.
Do any of the modern Doom games have how do I phrase this? I feel like all the modern Doom games have had bosses as critique.
Is that because I feel like I've heard the opposite, where I've seen people, because I don't like really any of the modern Doom bosses, but again, I don't like a lot of bosses.
That's usually what I hear, though.
Yeah, see, Madman says 2016s were fine. 2016s were my least favorite. Well, no, I think Eternal DLCs were my least favorite. Because they were
Eternal
demanding.
DLC bosses.
I don't think they were bad design, though. It's just not to my... Like, for any of them, it's like, I see the design, and it's not that it's, like, bad on paper, it's just not to my taste. Because, like I said, I don't usually like bosses for whatever reason. Dark Ages had the best. I guess I could see... I think the, So most of Dark Ages ones were just parry battles, which I should like, because I like Souls, and Souls are, I mean, it's not parry battles as much in Souls, but timed rolling, similar thing. I just could never feel comfortable with the timing of, like, the attack patterns in Dark Ages. I don't know exactly why. Like, again, on paper it shouldn't be that different from a Souls fight, but I had trouble, like, feeling comfortable with exactly what my timing needed to be. I was wondering if some of it is that there's, one thing Dark Ages does that's kind of unique is that, it has, like, leniency for the parry, both if you parry too soon and also if you parry too late. So you can actually take damage, and this is also with the, I did have a decreased parry window. I forget what I had it at, but I did decrease the parry window. And so you can actually, even with the decreased parry window that I had, you can take damage and still actually parry the attack. And I was wondering toward the end if that had actually resulted in me, like, learning bad timing for some of these parries. Because in Dark Ages you can get and lose health really quickly. So as I got toward the end, I started kind of feeling like, oh, I might have actually learned bad timing for some of these, because I was used to, like, parrying too late and not realizing I'd taken damage, because damage is such a... You take damage and you gain back health so often in the combat loop. Anyway, I mean, TLDR, I didn't think any of the bosses were bad designed, and I think, yeah, I could see maybe those being the bosses I enjoyed most, aside from being blindsided by how many of them there were, because I got to, like, the, what's his face? The first boss. The first boss I think you ever fight? No. Second, there's like the big mech boss, which was awesome, actually. There was then the, like, first on-foot boss, which I was like, okay, this could be the final boss. I think it's probably the second to last boss. I was correct, it was not the final boss. Then there's the final boss, and then there's the final boss again, and then there's the final boss again, and then, like, oh, cool, I beat the final boss, and the game's like, all right, here's the last level. Like, and then it's like, okay, I get to the boss of the last level, and then beat it, and it's like, and here's second phase. Like, okay, cool. So, which is fine. There's nothing bad about that, but also, again, aforementioned, I'm not the most, not the most tuned into bosses, so I was kind of getting to the point of, like, I would just like to beat this boss and, like, finish the game just so it's done, so I don't have that hanging over my head as, like, I might leave this and not finish it. But yes, Bloodshot. Overall, I loved Dark Ages. I mean, every one of the new Doom games has been phenomenal. Dark Ages might be my favorite. I think Eternal is the best one, if you just look at it from a point of view of, like, I don't want to say objective design, because there's not really any such thing, but if you look at it just kind of cold calculating which one has the most cohesive, deep design, I think Eternal wins. In terms of just, like, being tuned toward my own taste, I think Dark Ages is my favorite. I think if you took sort of the vibe and more relatively grounded nature comparatively of, like, 2016 and the story approach, I think if you took all that and you had Dark Ages art design and setting and combat, that would basically be my perfect new Doom game. But yeah, I loved it. I hear the DLC is nothing short of spectacular. I'm very excited for that. But I am gonna go do something else for a bit first. I was planning on going straight to the DLC, but I want to go play Control, or I want to go finish Control. I've played a few hours of that, and I'm sad I've missed out on that for so long. That game is really cool.
Remedy's Control?
Yeah! Have you played it, Dylan?
Yep.
Okay.
It's cool, I liked it.
Yeah, I've only played a few hours. I feel like I can see where the weaknesses and strengths might be already. And I feel like it's probably going to be something I will love. I can see why, if that all pans out the way I'm thinking it will, I can see why it's divisive, or it's a little divisive. But I was pretty much on board as soon as, well, first of all, as soon as I saw the destruction. Because, oh boy, like, I didn't care at all about the fact that they're remaking Max Payne until I started playing Control and was like, oh, there's a good chance this tech is going to be in the Max Payne remake, and that's gonna be amazing. Like, that the level of, like, destruction and chaos in Control is what I've been looking for in a, like, John Woo type game for years and years and years. And feel like nothing's ever quite hit the level that I want. And so I was on board with that, and then second of all, I was on board as soon as I went to, like, go talk to the janitor. And you go into, like the maintenance area, and there's all of these big street sign, like, things, like, janitor's office, directing you to it, and you go to the janitor's office, and you go up to his door, and there's a poster on the door of, like, him in, like, a pose with the mop, and you open the door, and it's him in a spotlight in that exact same pose, and that was just, like, it's such a small moment, but it's so perfectly Lynchian, but not in a referential way, I feel like. Unless that's in a Lynch movie I haven't seen, but it's, like, something I could see being a David Lynch thing that I don't think is actually a literal just, we're referencing Twin Peaks or whatever. That is when I was like, yes, this game is for me. That and the fact that it's really, really grumpy about giving you directions or markers where to go. And, like, I have been lost multiple times in that game and not known what to do or where to go, and I love it. Like, it is so rare to play a AAA game and have that level of, like, oh, I need to actually look at the map and use my brain and think about, well, where have I checked and where could I... just great. I love it. What am I leveling up? Maybe more health, maybe... I'll take more stamina, sure, why not?
And you never, understandably, because it's locked to the Epic store, you never played Alan Wake 2, right?
I did not, no. I would like to at some point. I actually liked the first one, I think, more than average. It's not one of my favorite games, but I feel like I liked Alan Wake 1 more than most people did. So yeah, I would, but I don't like EGS. I mean, I guess I could use it, but I just kind of don't want to. Like,
I played through Alan Wake 2 and didn't use EGS. I won't say how though.
okay, gotcha. So it's something I could figure out, is what you're saying, if I do a little bit of Googling.
Yeah. If it comes to any platform that is an EGS, I will. I have bought every single Remedy game I have played.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
Did you play what was that, Quantum Break back on release?
I played some of it, not all of it.
Because that's one that I never played. Although I thought it looked pretty cool at the time, but there was the whole like TV show element that just seemed kind of imposing to take on as someone who is not really good at watching and finishing TV shows. Oh, yeah, Doom 3 does have DLC. I don't think I've ever actually finished Resurrection of Evil, now that you bring it up. So what I played of it, I remember being fun, but not as good as the base game. It also feels weirdly kind of... There's something a little sad, I guess, about playing a Doom game and having it be like, here's our kind of crappy knockoff of the Gravity Gun. It just, I don't know, for a series that's, you know, has been such a, you know, kind of prides itself on being an innovator and pushing things forward. That was, that always just was kind of like, to me, because it's not even a very good Gravity Gun. It also has the Super Shotgun, which is, I recall, being really weird, because it has less spread than the normal shotgun, because of course everything has less spread than the Doom 3 shotgun. But it's like, if I remember right, its spread pattern is like larger vertically than it is horizontally, which is like the complete opposite of how it usually works.
Yeah, it makes no sense for a side-by-side shotgun.
Yeah. And it has a really, really kind of janky-looking animation, which is kind of charming. I remember it being fun, anyway. It's a fun weapon design, and I remember it being fun to use.
Alright, Luke, the most important question. What did you think of having to swap between your weapon and flashlight?
Oh, yeah. What did you think, Bloodshot? Because I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bloodshot liked it. I think almost everyone nowadays is kind of like, yeah, we get it. That's cool. At the time,
battles were forged from that decision.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that's has like aged. Well, I mean, a lot of things about Doom 3 have aged beautifully. I've said in the past, I think that Doom 3 is actually better now than it ever was at release. Not that it was bad on release, but it's like, now there's a bunch of things it does that are really not common in FPSs, and at the time were kind of common. It looked more derivative on release than it does now, is what I mean. And I think the flashlight is one of those things that I think most like younger people or people that didn't play it at the time who play it now are like, okay, yeah, this actually works really well, that's cool. And at the time it was just like, why can't I circle strafe and mow things down with a flashlight on?
Dunwich, I agree, but I have a weird fondness for the look and the sound of the guns in Doom 3.
I do too.
Like, I don't know what it is, because a lot of them don't even sound like proper weapons or even look like the Doom weapons. But there's still like there's still like a chunky feel to them that I like.
And yes, Kibirara, I agree. The design of all the mechanical things, all the environment art and details which were completely lost on me when I played it like back in the day. But now, if you go slow and look at all of the little details and stuff, it's really has some phenomenal art design. Holds up visually very well, aside from really just like texture resolution, and some of the poly count on some things is low. Otherwise, that game still looks really good.
Yeah, the light, as Bloodshot is just brought up, the lighting, the stencil lighting is just so good looking.
Yeah. Same with, I mean, honestly, multiple of the big games from 2004 still look good today, with varying degrees of success. I think we've talked before about how Halo 2 does not hold up visually that well. I think that Far Cry 1 runs the gamut of either looking really good or looking really dated. Half-Life 2 is basically timeless. I think Doom 3 is basically timeless. I will go to bat for Painkiller. I think still looks incredible. Although,
oh yeah, Painkiller rules.
Yeah.
It's got rough spots, but it's just so charming. I can't fault it.
Yeah. Far Cry 2. I love Far Cry 2. That's another one of the, like, you live long enough and you start to feel like you're losing your mind because the cultural
yeah.
opinion of, like, I did not know a single person who also liked Far Cry 2 back in, what would that be, like 2010, 2011. I was like the lone Far Cry 2 enjoyer of anyone I knew, and I was relentlessly mocked for it. And then I didn't pay attention, and a few years later, and suddenly, like, all of the trendy indie game dev guys are like, ah, yes, Far Cry 2 was a pinnacle of systemic design. Like, yeah. Wait, when did everyone learn that?
This is like a couple weeks ago when Twitter was like, no, the green gray area was great, and you're like, what? Like, how?
Yeah.
I've been fighting for this for decades.
Yeah.
Why did everyone just swap?
Yeah, that's just within the last, what, like maybe year or two, I'm seeing now a bunch of people who are on board of like, yeah, actually the Brown and Bloom era was peak. Especially with things like the Gears of War, what is that? Gears of War Reloaded, coming out, and a bunch of people being like, oh, here's the original game, here's the new game, you know, screenshots side by side, and it's like, oh, wow, okay, the original game really had some things that were lost. Yeah, the general opinion on things can shift dramatically over time, and what I didn't realize when I was younger is that, first of all, that shift would happen no matter how strongly some of these opinions are held culturally, and second of all, that people would forget, and you'd have younger people being like, ah, yeah, everyone's always loved this, or everyone's always hated that, and being like, what? No, I was there! This is completely changed, and history is now being rewritten. Why is that hard for me to say? And the worst one is Call of Duty. Because I've never liked Call of Duty, and I still don't like Call of Duty. And I have seen, like, Call of Duty games come out and be hated and mocked for being normie slop, and then some years later are being heralded as, like, the golden age. And there's the, like, it's the comparison videos of, like, back when Call of Duty was peak, or, like, the new ones I'm seeing that this is along with, like, the Brown and Bloom thing is, like, YouTube shorts of, like, Black Ops 2 versus Black Ops, 7? We, like, look how much better Black Ops 2 looked. And the difference is, it was Brown and Bloom. Like, suddenly people are not as much a fan of flat colors. Yeah, and we had it so good with Modern Warfare 2 Remake Remastered. Like, that's not even a joke.
Yeah, Modern Warfare 2 Remake Remastered.
Yeah.
Agent Strange, when I hear people say, like, Call of Duty might. Because the early ones, like playing couch co-op and like Call of Duty 2 and stuff, was such a big part of, my first experiences playing multiplayer games. I'm always like, oh yeah, no, Call of Duty, that that World War II shooter, and it's like, no, that's a forgotten a bygone era of video games.
Yeah,
Like,
except
no one
except when
remembers
it
that anymore.
rotates back. That was the first time this hit me, was when am I in a dead end, by the way? I'm like talking and not thinking about what I'm doing. I think this is a dead end, isn't it? I'll go back and just see. The first time I realized this is when which one was that? I think it was just Call of Duty World War II, whenever that came out. And people were celebrating it, and I hadn't caught up to because when I was a young adult, when I was in college, this would be even before college.
Is this World at War?
Yeah. So there's kind of two parts to this, which is when Call of Duty 4 came out. That was when there was World War II fatigue. And then World at War happened, and on release it was kind of looked down on and mocked because people were still in World War II fatigue. And then by the time Call of Duty World War II, I think that's what it's called, the one within the last few years, whatever that one's called, by the time that came out, the World War it had actually gone the other way, and I hadn't caught up with that. So when that was coming out and people were like celebrating the return to World War II, it was like this. It was like world crumbling sort of shock of like, wait, what? When did this change? World at War gave us zombies. Was that the first one? Yes, it was. Right. Okay, that actually explains a lot of the revisionism surrounding World at War, because because everyone loves zombies, Call of Duty zombies. That explains it, because all of the people who now are adults looking back fondly on that were not online arguing about it. They were playing Call of Duty zombies with their friends. Oh man. Yeah, Nazi zombies. That's right. Horde mode is still better. I didn't actually realize Horde mode was, that was started with Gears of War 2. Although I think the Redux mod that just came out has it for 1. Someone did ask, have the modern Wolfensteins grown on me? I wouldn't, not yet, because I haven't gone back to replay them yet. That definitely might happen, because these are all shattered. Oh boy, which one of these is gonna be cursed? Because I have been revisiting Gears of War, which I for years have been I wouldn't say a Gears of War hater. I guess it's gone up and down in intensity. There were times when I was younger, like back in the 2010s, that I would say I was a Gears of War hater, and then just became kind of Gears of War indifferent, and now enough time has passed and there have been enough fast-paced boomer shooters that I'm like more open to going back and seeing, okay, what good stuff did this have? And it turns out it actually did have quite a lot of good stuff, although I would say it's not my favorite cover. I should have checked it. Cover shooting's never quite been that style of cover shooting has never been my favorite combat design, but I can see that there's stuff it does that like it's more artful about it than some of the other cover shooters from that generation that just sort of implemented it as a whack-a-mole game. I think Gears of War does start out as a whack-a-mole game, but as I'm getting further into it, it's like, okay, I see there's some sophistication here with like thinking about how you move up and things like that. Still not my favorite, but it's enjoyable enough that I'm still playing it off and on. And I'm gonna have to go back there. I absolutely love the aesthetic like that it's like the epitome of 7th gen, the 7th gen smear, but it's actually really good. Like, there's some games from 7th gen where it's like, okay, yeah, you just kind of made everything gray and turned up the bloom. But Gears of War is one where it's, okay, everything's gray and they turned up the bloom, but, like, there's some intent behind it. Dylan, how have you been over the decades with, like, with this narrative arc of, for a while there was, like, the PC elitism, that was a big thing in 7th gen, it wasn't like a movement shooter versus cover shooter thing, it was like a PC shooter versus console shooter thing. And then, of course, where have you landed in these different forum wars over the years?
Well, I had both a PC and a console, so...
Okay, so you were just like, yeah, this isn't my fight.
Yeah, so, I played, actually, I think we played, Gears, I played through with my friend. We did co-op, like, all the way first game to third game.
Mm-hmm. That does seem to be the best way, like, I can see how those games are really designed with co-op in mind.
Yeah. And I remember enjoying them. There's, like, a couple of moments from, like, I thought the, like, pro level in the first game was pretty cool.
Oh, like the one where you have to stay out of the light?
Yeah. Just like fun ideas that they kind of, like, experimented with. I haven't gone back and tried playing those games, though, so I don't know if I'd touch them now and just be like, ugh!
Mm-hmm.
This is not good.
I have found so far, I think I'm, like, maybe halfway through Gears 1. I'm to the Green Rainy place, which immediately immediately that level started and was like, so many neurons are activated because it's just bleak green rain everywhere, everything's wet, and it looks so good. It looks so terrible in such a good way. I have been somewhat surprised at how well it holds up. In the sense of, like, as Bloodshot is saying in chat, it's not a super nuanced game, but there is a little more to it than just doing the whack-a-mole, poking, getting in cover and poking your head out. I'm not always the biggest fan of how it does more. Some of the encounters have been a little like, this is kind of frustrating and trial and error, but I respect what it does, I guess. Especially for the time when this was, like, a new thing, there weren't really any, there was, like, Kill Switch, and they were just kind of going off of that.
So sorry, I've been out of the loop with Gears of War stuff. E-Day is the new game. Yeah. What is Reloaded?
So Reloaded is the... Okay, so there was Gears of War on PC way back in the day. And then in 2015, they did a remake, which was Ultimate Edition, I think? Which was a like, all of the assets were remade and everything. And then Reloaded just came out, I think, last year, and it is a remaster of the remake.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Gears 1, Gears Ultimate, Gears Reloaded. So, yeah, I gather I own it because it was only $10, but then I like bought it, and then I saw that Redux, the Redux mod came out, which, by the way, Gears of War Redux is a mod on ModDB. You download the launcher, you run the launcher installs the game, and you play it. You don't need any actual game files. So it's functionally, you can just play the first game in it's not its original form, but, like, graphically its original form, for free, if anyone is interested in that. And it's, like, modernized, to work on modern PCs, runs at 60 FPS, everything like that. So that's what I've been playing. And maybe at some point I'll also play Ultimate or Reloaded just to kind of get a feel for myself what the visual differences are. I saw enough comparison screenshots where it was like, okay, so Ultimate or Reloaded doesn't look bad, but there were enough shots where I was like, I would be so disappointed if I didn't play the one on the left. Like, especially the rainy area. That was the kind of the one where I saw comparison screenshots and I was like, there is no way I am playing this if I'm not getting the version on, the original, just it's poisonously like, gross visuals.
Yeah, it's like the Halo vs. Halo anniversary kind of shit.
Yeah, and the great thing about... Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
They kind of, like, some of them, like, bulldoze is the original art style.
Yeah, and the great thing about... Oh, do I have a Pharaoh Stone, or did I use it? I'm gonna go check that out. Great thing about Halo is you can switch between them, which is why the Master Chief Collection is, like, phenomenal, because it's like, okay, you have the horrible Anniversary Edition visuals, but you can just turn them off. And it's still not as good as on the original Xbox, because thanks Gearbox, but it's at least better than the existing PC port, Unfortunately, that's not the case in, well, most other remakes. There is that one, the Tomb Raider, what is it called? The recent Tomb Raider remasters, which allow you to do that, which is really nice. Alright, what's this say? Tiers. I guess I might as well use one. See what it gives me. They fixed the Gearbox-isms? Are you sure?
In the Master Chief Collection, yeah, they did.
Did they? All of them?
I think it was pretty comprehensive.
Okay.
I remember playing through the MCC one a while back, and they definitely had fixed up a lot of it.
Okay, that's awesome. There were I really wasn't able to tell because I don't have an Xbox set up to, boot up the original version. I know there were some that were like something where it's like it didn't have the normal maps didn't take environmental light into account or something like that, which I wasn't able to ever see what the difference was because I couldn't, and then there's the famous ones like the fog, the fog being awful and in that one area and stuff. That's great that they fixed at least.
Yeah, they fixed those.
Yeah.
The remaining issues right now are like insane stuff that you would very unlikely notice. Like I think one of the issues is that like when the index comes out in the library, the rendering is slightly different because of the difference between like the Xbox hardware and like PC shader libraries. It's stuff that like you would never know in a million years.
Yeah, that's when it gets to that stuff too. It's like, at least in the case of Halo, the improvements that you get with the Master Chief Collection version in terms of just like user experience and stuff, to me, were always worth the few things like that. Similar to like I'm someone who tends to play the Quake Night Dive port. Even though there's a whole list of things that whole list of differences and problems, but for me it's like, yeah, but the usability and convenience is enough to tip the scales.
Yeah, I played a bunch of the new episode, and it was fine. It just I didn't really run into any problems. There was some weird stuff with the VSync. Like once I had to turn VSync off and.
Okay, so that was some. Is that the fixed update jitter?
I believe so. I was just kind of like, when I was playing it, I was like, man, this is like far below what my screen refresh rate is supposed to be, and I had to mess with some options like setting the resolution to like the the version that had 144 next to it and setting frames to unlimited and then turning VSync off. And then
Okay.
it was starting to run correctly.
That fits my memory because Scott has multiple times brought up the fixed up. He doesn't like the fixed update jitter, and I can't feel it. And I had this vague memory of that being a problem, and then there was some combination of like adjusting refresh rate or turning VSync off or something that got rid of it.
Yeah, it was definitely. I thought it was noticeable during the original launch, but then I think they patched it, provided you set some of the settings correctly.
Okay, yeah, that fits my memory also. I was wondering if I had just lost my touch and couldn't see fixed update jitter anymore, but
I definitely notice it in games, but probably not to the degree that that Scott does.
yeah. I never noticed it until I got a 144 hertz monitor, and then you really notice it.
I never noticed it until fucking you guys at New Blood told me about it, and I feel like you guys woke me up to the... It was one of those things where it's like, I can now never unsee it.
And the original start of that was because of Dusk, because I developed Dusk on a 60 hertz monitor, and Unity has the stupid 50 hertz default for physics update. So
Yeah.
it had even worse than normal fixed update jitter, and I didn't notice it, but the guys on 144 hertz did. And then ever since then, it's like the first thing anyone at New Blood checks for in like a Unity game, especially, is like, well, does it have fixed update jitter? And often the answer is yes, it does, because Unity has really stupid defaults, and also because programmers in general have this really stupid habit of being like, yeah, you should do your movement in fixed update. That's fine, but they never go on to explain, and if you do your movement in fixed update, you need to make sure you interpolate in non-fixed update, otherwise it's jittery.
Yeah.
I still don't do that.
Problem.
I still don't do that, by the way. I just put movement in normal update.
Pretty sure Gloomwood also does. I think the solution was just put it in normal update.
Yeah, I mean it. I know. I know I know that people warn against that, but I've just never had it be a problem, so I keep doing it.
Yeah. So the reason why you're not technically supposed to do that is because motion is technically like a physics operation, and you don't want to do motion outside of the physics step, because the physics engine won't have time to like respond to it, which is why you can have events where like, you know, objects phase through walls and stuff like that.
Right. I think part of it might be that I don't think I've ever made a game where the player controller is not like what's the word you would use? In every game I've made, any other physics objects are subservient to the player controller. Like, so it's okay if like the player controller moves several times and clips into a box before the box has time to figure that out, because the player controller is supposed to push, like, the player controller has infinite mass and whatever, it's supposed to just push everything out of the way so it doesn't get in the way of movement. That might be part of why I've never had problems with it.
Luke, someone brought it, I think it was Cable, but like you know how in Gloomwood when you put your inventory down, you can use the mouse to like move the camera by moving it to the edges of the screen? Apparently that's still tied to frame rate.
Oh, really?
Cable was like, oh, if you... Oh,
Uh-oh.
she didn't die.
Uh-oh. Yeah, but
die.
that's gonna happen. Here, maybe if I run in here and get some room. Nope, that just has more death. Up the ladder then.
Oh my god.
Alright.
Pray there's nothing at the top of this ladder.
Oh, I can heal on ladders!
Oh.
I didn't
I don't
even
even
know
know.
that. How many hours have I played of this game, and that's the first time I've ever tried healing on a ladder. Okay. Hi. Actually,
Of
going
course, they
back
put a
down.
dude like right at the top of the ladder.
Yeah, I think this is actually safer than trying to get off the ladder, because I can just kind of damage.
This
Nope,
is-
maybe not. Nah.
Oh
nah.
no!
Nope, no good. I think people should make more games where every system depends on the FPS, so we could get Half-Life 1 style speedrunning shenanigans. You're not wrong. Okay, where did I even go? That was like... I'm like paying half attention because I'm just talking. You've never seen that move before? I think it's happened to me a few times. Or maybe I'm getting it confused with some other impale me and insta-kill me move in this game.
Bloodshot. Have you played the Beginner's Guide?
Oh yeah, that game's very good.
It's
It's not
Read
exactly what you're describing, but it has some elements of that.
yeah, Reedon, who made the Stanley Parable, made a follow-up game called The Beginner's Guide, which is much more aimed at being a game developer than well, the Stanley Parable isn't about being a game developer. The Beginner Guides is more his experiences of being a game developer.
It's kind of about being a creator in general, but definitely
Yeah,
focused on game development.
It's great.
Yeah, it's very good. Oh shoot. DLC for Outer Wilds has elements of this. I'm getting close to playing the Outer Wilds. I'm like, I can feel that it's...
game's great.
Yeah, I can feel that the time is coming. Not quite here yet, but it's approaching, I think. Yes, that's the one with the lamp, Bloodshot. Yeah, you always want to do mouse movement every frame. Mouse movement is a weird thing where you absolutely do not want to have that tied to like time scale or fixed update or anything like that. You want it to like be extremely like if you move your mouse this much, you want it to move that much regardless of how many frames it's in. Please do no, I'm not going to stream Outer Wilds for sure. There's a bunch of games like that where it'd probably be fun for people to watch, but I'm not gonna like it.
Yeah,
You know, that,
I personally would highly recommend not streaming.
yeah, that's one of the games on the list of like I just want to experience this on my own. That's why I don't stream like the new Quake episodes or things like that, because it's like I just want to make sure I have a good experience with this. No, because I'm not going to stream it. So, spoilers is one concern, but the main concern I have is that, as evidenced by this stream so far, I can only ever be, like, half engaged with the game that I'm streaming. You know, I can only ever feel kind of, like, half immersed in it. Which, to be honest, that's worked out well with Souls games, because I have like the first playthrough where I learn the game, and then I have like other playthroughs where I actually can get like, you know, I can actually get kind of involved with it, and I find that having the foreknowledge like helps with that. It's kind of weird. Like I've said before, I feel like replaying these games is as much fun, or maybe even more fun, than doing the first playthrough. It's sort of that survival horror thing that we've talked about.
Bloodshot, you're a speedrunner. You have to be insane.
It's true. Yeah, oh, that's right. I guess I technically have seen all of the Dark Ages DLC, just like in fast forward.
Yeah.
I remember little bits and pieces of it because I watched Bloodshot's speedrun of it at QuakeCon. In Before David Plays Outer Wilds, right?
I think the joke is that Outer Wilds
Oh,
and
I
Outer
see.
Worlds
Yeah,
is,
like
is
what?
so confusing.
No, I have already played Outer Worlds, or at least a chunk of it. And I actually didn't hate it. I actually thought some of the writing and RPGing was really good, but I guess everyone else didn't feel the same way. I don't know. I felt like the gameplay was not good, and that's what kind of ruined it for me eventually. Just having 2,000 bullets in my inventory and having no stakes whatsoever.
Yeah. The lack of friction.
Oh, I didn't even see 80% of the mechanics, because you skip most of the upgrades. The mechanic... excuse me? What was that?
Certified Dark Souls moment.
Yep. The mechanics I did see looked incredibly fun. I hear it's sort of like midway between Dark Ages and Eternal, with like the spear tech and everything. Which sounds pretty good to me. I did love Eternal as well. This is just not a great place to be, is it? So there's more room out here. Oh.
Oh no.
I felt that
The
happening
wall.
as it happened, yeah. Like, my brain said, you're gonna hit the wall, and I slashed anyway, and I hit the wall. Oh, that's cool. Someone's doing a modded Eternal level themed after OG Doom stuff. Oh, he's despawned. Yeah, Eternal, the base game of Eternal, I ended up feeling like was just about perfect for me, because I'm not a very skilled player of anything. Base game of Eternal, I felt like I was constantly operating on like the edge of my skill level, and by the end felt like I had really gotten enough of a handle on things that I was able to feel really rewarded doing stuff. Like by the end I really felt like I'd accomplished, like I'd learned it and had not mastered, but like mastered enough for it to be satisfying. The DLCs, I think, for me were a little too far, although I did enjoy them, but I felt like those were the points where it was getting to be like, okay, this is more more a skill test. Like I'm more just like dreading what the next room is gonna hold. Doom 3 was alright, but it was missing quick swap. Wonder how... Wait, was it up here? It was up here, right? Actually, wait, would I... No, I wouldn't be better off going to that other bonfire. Does Hatsu's mod have quick swap? I didn't know about that. I know Hatsu's mod has different animations.
Hatsu's mod has view model wiggleness.
Hatsu does love a dynamic, lively view model. Let's say. Hatsu and I sometimes have differing opinions on the amount of tactical jiggle that is needed. which is fine, because Hatsu it's one of those cases of, like, this person is so much more skilled and knowledgeable in this area than I am, that I don't feel bad being like, I disagree with this. You know what I mean? It's like, Hatsu is always going to be a much, much better animator than I am. So I feel comfortable being like, hey, Hatsu, less jiggle.
Less jiggle. It's funny because, like, after he did his, like, Doom mod release, he got a lot of really mean comments, and I was...
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
just,
I
like,
didn't see that.
Yeah, just, like, people being assholes.
That sucks.
And which is weird because it's like, it's a mod. You don't have to install it. No one's making you install a mod.
Yeah. Yeah, people assholes on the internet? No way. I feel like fan communities especially can be really... modding communities. Modding can be, like, super cool, or it can be really, really poisonous.
Yep.
Sometimes
we've
both
experienced that one.
Yeah. Sometimes in the same communities. Sometimes it's like, oh, this mod is, like, the coolest content for this game, and is just a celebration of everything we love about it. And then also, if you try to engage with any of the community around it, you're gonna hate your life. Tactical Jiggle sounds like a slider in Dead or Alive.
Tactical Jiggle, amazing.
Speaking of which, I guess this is kind of the opposite of Jiggle, but, like, everyone's seen the muscled armored lady in Mortal Shell 2, right?
Yes.
Because that is some peak character design. That is some I am wishlisting this game immediately character design.
I didn't play the first game, but I will play the second game.
Yeah. Sometimes you'll see people being like, oh, are you really just gonna play a game because it has an attractive woman in it? I'm like, yes?
Yes.
I think in my 20s I would have been like, that's so shallow and simplistic. And now in my 30s I'm like, yeah, I see attractive lady, neuron activates. So it's the exact same as if I see, if I see an enemy with a chainsaw, or if I see abandoned factory in a game, I'm gonna be like, oh, I'll play that now. Similar thing. I am a simple man. Okay, yeah, that really is just a drop, isn't it?
A drop and just a circle of dogs beneath the drop.
Oh, that reminds me of what is that? It's a Gary Larson cartoon, I think, where it's like a guy, it's like a parachutist descending, and you just see this enclosure that says, like, Roy's Dingo Farm or something, and all of these, like, snouts pointed upwards looking at the guy, and it's something about, I don't remember what the caption is, but he's just, like, slowly descending into this waiting pen of dingoes. That's kind of like what that was. Oh, this is my first stream since QuakeCon. You're right. Every game needs its Guinevere. Yes. I'm remembering to check these. QuakeCon was awesome. It was the busiest QuakeCon I've had probably since running a booth. So in many years, I spent pretty much all of it either visiting with people or napping, or like recovering from visiting with people, which was awesome. I had gone there planning on playing whatever that, once I got there, it was, I'll probably play through the new Quake episode in my downtime, but there was no downtime.
Yeah.
But it was a really good time. I got to watch John Romero play through, what would you say, maybe like the first half of Daikatana Episode 1, around that.
Yeah.
A good chunk of Daikatana Episode 1, at least. And that was amazing. Got to hear him kind of comment on things. Got to see him struggle with the mosquitoes. One of my favorite moments was he was going down a hall and somebody... It might have even been you, Dylan. I don't remember who it was, but someone asked him, like, what was the deal? Why did you decide to start the game with like the frogs and the mosquitoes. And he was like, well, you only see him in the first level. The idea of Daikatana, or in the first 3 levels, I think he said. He said dang it. The idea of Daikatana was that it's constant variety. You never see the same thing twice. And then, with perfect comic timing, he turned around, and right in his face was like 5 mosquitoes.
Like, in the sewer section where it's like, okay, the mosquitoes should be done now.
Yeah. I also got to, he played a little bit of multiplayer for a bit, and if you've never played Daikatana multiplayer, it is actually a very fun time. I highly recommend it. And he got insta-jibbed by somebody, and I was like, well, you didn't call it Live Katana, and he completely stonewalled me on it. Like, no reaction. It was amazing. It was like, yeah, that's deserved. That's the response I deserve. I didn't actually, like, talk to him, like, I didn't, like, introduce myself or, you know, like, hey, I made Dusk or whatever.
He was fucking, like, swarmed the entire time.
I kind of felt like, I don't know, it's at a point, like, I was kind of like, you know, he knows what Dusk is. He's played Dusk. He said he likes Dusk. I get to see him, you know, it's really cool to get to see him play through some of Daikatana, hear him comment on it, to hear, like, Brenda tell stories about things and stuff. Like, I don't need to introduce, like, I don't need him to know who I am, if that makes sense. Like, he doesn't, you know, him knowing what my face looks like, or putting, like, a face to the name, or a name to the game, or whatever. It's like, I don't need that to happen. I don't think he needs that to happen. I'm kind of happy just being here. That said, I did want to talk to Hugo more than I got. I got to, like, briefly introduce myself to Hugo and say something awkward. Like I think I was trying to say, like, how much I loved, you know, his games, and how much I respect Eternal, and I think it came out weird, but hopefully he doesn't remember that. But I wanted to talk to him a little bit more, but then, of course, everyone wanted to talk to Hugo. And, yeah, you will abstain. Bloodshot will abstain. Should have told him I was Markiplier. Yeah. Okay, I've been here. I know that what I'm supposed to be doing right now, and what I am somewhat successfully doing, is finding all of the unfrozen places. I haven't really found any. I know from hints and from deduction that all of these unfrozen places are going to have, or some of these unfrozen places are going to have something useful to the one boss fight with all of the portals. Here comes Witch Donna. I assume this is an NPC invader. Because this is... the name and the costume and everything are way too coherent for this to be a player. If it's a player, it would be like... they'd be like Castaway Witch Donna and like weird capitalization, and then like they'd be naked but have a great shield and or something like that.
Roll behind you and backstab you with a dagger.
Yeah. Yeah, Bloodshot, that entire, oh no.
Oh.
Ah! Poorly timed roll. Oh yeah, you should be trying to invade me the whole time. Yeah, that entire, Revelation stream was really funny to watch, because of stuff like that, and also because I was sitting next to Andrew, who is friends with, Josh, the id, community manager, I think? Yeah, and so he just kept making comments, or, like, yelling things. At one point he's like, yeah, so I watch Well, actually, maybe I shouldn't tell that story. Never mind.
Oh no.
No, it's not anything bad. It's just, you know, Andrew, he's like, yeah, so there's this one particular meme he always sends to Josh when the streams are live to try and get him to break.
Oh no. That's great. A very Andrew thing to do.
Yeah. Andrew and I took a day to just go out into Dallas to take photographs, because Andrew's gotten really into photography. Actually, as a result of Mark, because Mark I think it was that Mark had this random camera he didn't need, and he was like, hey, do either of you want a random camera? And Andrew was like, sure, I'll take it. Or maybe it was a lens, I don't remember which, but then Andrew started using it and got really into like amateur photography, and then has gotten me into doing that as well, as sort of like a mental health break sort of thing. So we went out into Dallas for one of the days and just, you know, on like a photography expedition. And the very first place he took me was the high security prison. So, because there's a parking garage for the prison that at the very top level you get, first of all, a good view of the prison, and second of all, a really good view of Dallas. So like we're up there and the like inmates are in there. It's like they don't even have a yard. They had like internal gymnasiums, like a stacked series of gymnasiums with like one like gated off like open part. I don't know, it's a little hard to explain, but like they were like yelling stuff at us as we're up there and we're like waving at them, and it's just funny that he's like, hey David, I know you're super fucked up, so I'm gonna take you to the high security prison first. And I was like, yes, that was a good idea. And then he took me to an abandoned cement factory, and I wasted all of the rest of the time there because it's an abandoned cement factory. So like,
Yep.
like I could have spent probably the entire QuakeCon there finding things to take pictures of. Yeah, this is the best date I've ever been on, exactly. Yeah, I drank more at QuakeCon than I probably have the rest of the year combined, which still wasn't that much, but I do remember there was one evening where I got drunk enough that I was like not able to speak coherently, and I think I was like, I'm slurring my words, so I'm going to go to bed or something like that.
Yep. You're like hyper conscious of like the effects of alcohol, that you're just like, I can tell I'm slurring my words, I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah.
I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah. Alcohol? Did I say alcohol? Yeah. What are your thoughts on Bungie gunplay? I haven't played either of the Destiny games, but I think Halo's combat design is really good, or the like the original Halos. The Bungie Halos, I think all of their combat design in those games is really good. Although I do kind of wish that the assault rifle was more accurate in Halo 1, because it's really inaccurate. I've heard Destiny gunplay is really good, yeah.
The weird thing is that so I haven't played Campaign Evolved, but apparently they did make the assault rifle way more accurate, and it kind of destroys the balance of all the other guns.
Yeah, that would make sense. I have not tried the new Marathon. First I heard everyone thought it was gonna suck, and now I've heard everyone likes it. It's like an extraction shooter, right?
Well, so it was Marathon is gonna suck, Marathon is great, and now we're in Marathon has lost 98% of its player base and is bad again.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, you gotta catch up with the this current state of games.
Yeah.
Where if a multiplayer game isn't the most successful thing in the world, it's a flop.
Yeah, I'll see that, where people will be like, oh, look at this game, it only has like 39,000 concurrents. It's dead. Like that's dead.
And it's
okay.
And it's a single player game.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, Dusk's peak concurrent count was like 600 or something, so that's where I'm coming from. I've heard Campaign Evolved. I have heard both that it is the victim of an unfair hate bandwagon, and also that it is the worst thing of the year. I assume the reality is probably somewhere between. I wouldn't be opposed to playing Campaign Evolved at some point, but I'm not itching for it personally.
Yeah, I've got too many like games that I need to actually play than replay Halo for the 9 millionth time.
Yeah. Is Marathon gorgeous? I've heard a couple people say that, and then every screenshot I look at looks horrible to me. Maybe I just haven't seen the right screenshots? Or is it like a you either love or hate it sort of art style? Oh, it's like a... Okay, so it's like a purposely minimalist art style. I didn't get the... I mean, to be fair, I haven't seen that many screenshots of it. Like, just whatever I've happened to see, I've been like, oh, I don't know. I'll have to look again, I guess.
So what's wild is that there was a... I believe they were like a photographer, artist, and apparently they heavily lifted that person's art style for Marathon.
I remember that. They like literally lifted some like textures or something.
Yeah, literally the textures that they did, and never like asked for permission or compensated them, and that became like a big deal, and they had to like settle with that person.
Okay, I was gonna say, did that ever get worked out, or?
Yeah, they settled. They probably drove up to their door and just dropped off a big stack of money.
Yeah. Well, at least they... I mean, I guess at least, presumably, that person did get something for it. Yes, I did see this. Marathon looks like Spy Kids 3. Yeah, no, I'm not tweeting about Marathon. Tweeting isn't even fun anymore. Like, I genuinely... Some of it is because I've refused to do the things that you're supposed to do to keep your engagement alive. Like, I don't have a check mark or anything, but... Oh, man. Oh, that actually worked. Okay. Yeah, every time I post... Like, the few times I've posted something on Twitter since the muskening, it's like, either it like... explodes in a not necessarily great way, or nobody sees it, and like neither of those like at this point I'm like, I'd rather just post on Blue Sky, which is a smaller audience, and I know it's like lol Blue Sky, but also I can post there and just kind of hang out with people, and like I post stuff and get responses from human beings, you know what I mean? It's like I kind of prefer that. It's okay, the best tweet ever dropped the other day. Twitter, which one's that? Better than the Borderlands original artist ever got treated. I am not aware of this. What happened with that?
That sounds like a certified Randy Pitchford moment.
It sure does. This was working pretty well with them. I don't think the big weapon work... Actually, I am going to put this in my offhand, because that might be good for the witch. A YouTube pooped in my YouTube shorts! Okay, yeah, that's good. That's the saddest thing about Twitter, is that that sort of like forced short form content has resulted in some incredibly good like one-liners or few sentence jokes over the years.
You just have to crawl over all the Nazis
Yeah.
and porn and other horrible things that happen on
Yeah.
Twitter.
And it's just like Twitter's always kind of been a bit of a Twitter's always been a bit of a cesspit. But back in the 2010s and even early 2020s, it was like, okay, it's a cesspit, but there's highs and, you know, it was sort of like kind of bad in the way where it's like the highs are high and the lows are low. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it could be incredibly fun to have something take off or have like a random shit post go somewhere. Like I remember, you know, things like the New Vegas tweet that was like stressful but also really fun and hilarious at the same time. You know, stuff like that would happen, and that would be like a high, and then you'd have, of course, the many lows. And now I feel like it's just lows. It's just like, yeah, you can go on here and like, because you know, getting like trolled or getting hate comments or things like that are one thing, but what really demoralizes me is getting like the no humanity comments. Getting the like, this is either a bot or this is somebody whose entire existence on this platform is to farm exposure. And both of those to me are way more off-putting and way more demoralizing than like normal internet hate ever was. Do I have the... I do not have the thing on. I should put the thing on, huh?
I will be back.
Okay. Oh, I've been missing out on some health here. What is my favorite joke I did on Twitter? There have been a couple ones that I did that nobody else thought was funny that I thought were really funny. I think the one that I always go back to thinking of, it might not actually be my best one, but the one that I remember most is the unused Kojima characters. And I think it's because every single one of those has some, like, secondary joke to it that I thought was really good. Like, Jack Bauer's just randomly in there, and it's because at, you know, around that time, it was the big controversial thing was that, what's his name? Original Solid Snake voice actor got replaced with Jack Bauer. There's like, what were some other ones? I don't even remember, but that was one I always felt really proud of. David Hayter, that's his name. Yeah, got replaced by Keith Sutherland. Yeah. I think there were a couple other really good ones. I don't remember though. And it's none of the ones I thought were really funny ever really took off. Or are ones that like the only tweets that ever took off to the point where like I might be quote unquote known for them were like New Vegas, and then there was reiterating a thing someone else had come up with that I'd heard about the Uncanny Valley. And then there's me asking how to get cigar smoke smell out of my office and someone responding with psychotic advice about frozen bees. Like, none of the like, tweets I'm known for were ever things where I was the clever or funny person. Yeah, yes, Kojima, that was one of them. The malaise, that was another one. Because, you know, MGS3 has, like, the pain and the fear and stuff, and one of them would be the malaise. I don't know. Not a joke, but I like replying with a photo of my copy of Morning Glory Milking Farm. Is that the one like erotic novel that was going around for a while with like the cowmen or whatever? Is that one? Oh yeah, Jonathan Franks, what is it called? Like, interrogates you with nonsense for 8 minutes or something. Yeah, okay, yeah, that one. So that was a real book? I only ever saw pictures of it, but it's like... At this, nowadays you can't tell when something's, real or just made up or AI generated or... That's a real book, huh? Oh, I forgot that guy's out here. Okay. Ooh, okay, that might... Yeah, that's death. Okay. You read it on a road trip. Had to stop a few times after reading a sentence that has never been typed before. Oh, now I'm intrigued. It's like a dice roll with those things. Because sometimes it's like... something like My Immortal, where it's like, this is incredible, and, sometimes it's just like, oh, this is deranged perversion. That certainly is something that I read. I know My Immortal is, like, really, really old at this point. And it probably doesn't hit the same now as it... Because now we're subjected to so much, like, insanity everywhere. But that's still one of the funniest things I've ever read. Reading it back in the day. Back in college. And just being like, what is happening in this person's brain? I'll take deranged perversion over AI slop, to be honest. Yeah, but that's like a... Because AI slop isn't anything. It's like zero. It's a zero a number thing. Like, I don't have any... Like, I think there's some AI stuff that does manage to be in sort of like a really unsettling, uncanny valley that at least is something. But for the most part, it's just like, oh, okay, that's nothing. That's like looking at a white image, like a default white image in MS Paint. Oh yeah, I got to play the that was really cool. And getting to play that game and your game was really fun. Oh, I want to get the backstab. Maybe I should abandon the backstab. Hello, Deggy? Deggy2? Thank you for joining. I'm just repeatedly dying at the same part in Dark Souls 2, which is, I mean, that's how this usually goes. Maybe I should just bait them into here. Let's see if that works. Oh, that should have been a stagger. Come on. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah, Dunwich. I don't see that much difference, to be honest. Because Butcher's Creek is... I mean, honestly, like... Butcher's Creek is about I mean, it's set in the 90s, so it's not about Twitter, but it's like, it's about all of that stuff. So the idea is it is still jokes, it's just no longer funny anymore. So it's kind of related.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Hello. Nothing of note has happened. Still dying to stupid things.
I played a little bit of Sinking City 2 this week.
Oh, nice.
Just
How is that?
An hour or two. So, this is gonna sound very weird from me.
Okay.
I'm almost disappointed that it's a survival horror game.
Oh, that does sound weird. I think I might know what you mean, but yeah, please continue.
So I do want to say that what I have played, and again, not very far in, so like it could change. It could be, the elements that I'm kind of missing might show up later.
Mm-hmm.
And what is there is pretty good. The survival horror elements that they, like the combat, the survival horror elements, they're done well. They're like, if this game had come out on its own, I'd probably be singing its praises like Chronos, where it's like, this is like a very competently well done survival horror game. My
gosh.
issue.
Wait, I've been doing this the whole time. I have a shortcut right here that I'd opened and that I completely forgot about. I don't have to go around well, that's just how David streams go. Anyway, sorry, continue.
My problem is that we have, so there it's very like Resident Evil 2 remake survival horrors style. We have quite a few of those now.
Yeah. Which is awesome. That's not a bad
great.
thing.
And it doesn't, I don't want to like come off like, they don't deserve to make a survival horror game or whatever. But there was something so weird and unique about Sinking City 1 that I miss like how weird and unique it kind of felt. Like the weird like investigation missions and like talking to all these like weird characters, and it almost like Sinking City 1 almost kind of feels like in the same genre as like Pathologic in a weird way.
That's so they took
combat.
They downplayed that stuff in this one
Considerably. Yeah.
That's really disappointing to hear. Because that was like, now tell me this: do they still have the self-directed investigations?
Sort of. This might be one of those things that, like, they still have that board where you can like connect like ideas, but so far it's mostly been used to solve kind of survival horror puzzles, and not like murder investigation or whatever.
That's
it's like
disappointing.
The first one is like, this gate needs a power cell, and then you connect like on the board like gate needs power cell.
Okay.
And instead of like, the ape man was murdered, who would have done it? Oh, it's probably the fishman because they have like a rivalry with the ape men or whatever.
Yeah. That's really unfortunate because that stuff was that was what was so cool about the first one, and then the survival horror gameplay was kind of like layered on top of that, but I feel like the heart of it really was those more the elements that were more like pathologic or more like something like that.
Yeah. So it's put me in a weird spot because on one hand, if this was like a game on its own, I would be like loving it. But because this is a sequel to another game that I like, I feel kind of like weird about it.
Yeah. Historically, what you're supposed to do with that as a gamer is decide that means Sinking City 2 is trash. Having the nuance of this is a good game, but has these problems as a sequel is not allowed.
I'm hoping what I will eventually come away with this is that like I'll like both games for what they kind of bring to the table, because there's like it's still the same world and like themes and stuff like that. I'm hoping that I'll be like, oh, I really liked Sinking City 1 and 2 for different reasons, but I can't help but get away from this. I can't help but feel that sting of like, man, it was really cool what Sinking City 1 did, and it's a little sad to see it do a much more safe, tried and true game.
Yeah.
After it.
Yeah, that's. Oh, unlocked an elevator to get to that invader from a different bonfire. You're right, I did. This is that being, like, half paying attention thing. That's the problem. Yeah, where does this go again? Is this... Yeah, this is the elevator, right? Right, it goes right here. Let's see. Is it... this way? I think this way is the closest bonfire. Yeah, that's unfortunate, because I was most looking forward to seeing those elements hopefully expanded on in a sequel, because yeah, those were the bonfire would be. Oh yeah, it's not up here, because that was the most memorable part of like it was still cool as like a new survival horror adjacent game, but like the coolest part was all of the interactions with people and the having to solve cases and actually solve them yourself in some ways.
An element I really liked from Sinking City 1 is like someone would tell you something, you have to go somewhere and you have to kind of figure it out based upon like the address and like what street it was on and all that kind of stuff. It felt very, it didn't treat you like an idiot.
Yeah, and you'd have to actually like go to the town like registry or whatever to look up people and all sorts of cool stuff I don't think I've seen in another game. And I think the worst part is that in Sinking City 1, it like could have been expanded on even more. It's like more a proof of concept rather than like a full envisioning of what they could have done with those systems. Current horror game is Big Walk, and the horror comes from trying to schedule around other people. Yeah, I feel that. I played, while I was waiting for a flight that got delayed, I played a few hours of Brazilian Drug Dealer 3. I opened a portal to hell in the favela trying to revive Meet Aya. I need to close it. I think I got all the title right. I played a few hours of that, and that game is phenomenal. Dylan, have you played it?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so if you've seen anything about it, what you're expecting is pretty much what it is. But it's basically Cruelty Squad Quake, but with like Brazil memes. And I mean, Cruelty Squad Quake with Brazil memes ends up being really fun, and surprising because you have no idea what is going to happen. It has that same level design quality of Cruelty Squad, where like the rules are so fundamentally broken that you don't have any idea what the next level is going to have, and that ends up being really engaging and fun because you're surprised by things.
Oh no.
Oh, the wall. Let's.
She's got her own little guardian.
Yeah. Favorite horror is Outlast. I think Outlast is another one where like enough time has, like, there's enough space now that it's like I respect It's not. I don't really like Outlast, but there's been like enough time that I can now kind of respect what it's going for, even if it isn't for me. Yeah, they were very excited to see me at QuakeCon. Yeah, I had meant to play Brazilian Drug Dealer for I mean, ever since it came out, and that was just a good excuse to play it. It is sad that it doesn't have cloud saves though. So now I'm trying to decide whether I want to replay everything on PC or continue my playthrough on Steam Deck. And I also need to play the new Quake episode, which I've only played like 2 or 3 levels of, I think.
There's too much shit to play, dude.
Yeah. There really is. Like, as you're talking about Sinking City 2, I'm thinking like, man, I don't even have... Oh! Are you a friend? Try head, butthole. Are you a friend? Yes, you are a friend. Okay, excellent. Now, are there more of those? Be wary of Beanpole. I suspect there may be more of them then. Yeah, I was thinking like I can't even play Sinking City 2 until I finally get to Chronos. Right, Chronos the New Dawn, that's the one, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Which you guys have said is really good. And
yeah, it's awesome.
I played like an hour of it and it seemed really good. You can check in the throne room, right? Yeah, I gotta do that. I gotta either finish Control or get to a point where I'm tired of Control, whichever comes first. Yeah, Control, Chronos, Gears of War, Outer Wilds, of course, someday. Chronos is also getting DLC, jeez.
Yeah, that's coming out like next month, October, somewhere around there.
Oh, and I gotta play Dark Ages DLC at some point also.
Revelations, Stalker 2 DLC just came out.
Right, although that one I can at least say, yeah, I'm gonna give this a few patches before. Yeah. Chronos, the Bloober game, yeah, the Bloober game, believe it or not. Right, that was Bloober. Chronos was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They did it. They finally made a good game.
They have had a glow up, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so I am going to ask for some direction here. There are more of those knights to get, right? Or is it just that one?
I think there's 1 or 2 more.
Okay, that's what I figured. Just wanted to make sure. I just need to find where more ice might be, so I'm going to go back here. There are 4 total, okay. Yeah, and I need to make crop goblins too, of course. Okay, that 1 for free and there's 4 total. That makes sense. Yeah, there's way too many games. And finish Brazilian Drug Dealer. Then Brazilian Drug Dealer 4 is coming out. This is part of the reason actually why I've felt so drawn to why I've like now felt drawn to the idea of taking a bit longer on a game rather than continuing with the short form releases that I've been doing, because it's just getting to a point where like I feel like ethically I can't be asking for somebody's time and attention for something unless it's really worth that, I guess. Not that I think my shorter games aren't worth that, but it's like there are so many games now and there are so many exemplary games that I kind of feel obligated to, like, if I'm going to ask someone to spend their time on something, I really want to make sure it's, it's worth that time. Put more big castle in games. Yeah, I was looking at it like,
More
oh wow,
big
that is really pretty big castle. Just need at least 4 more Dusk spin-offs for that 90s game on authenticity. Yeah. So this is the I'm just trying to remember where because yeah, this goes into the throne room. Right. Okay. So I should be able to. Is this the drop? No, I go in there. Do I have any idea when there will be a store page for Bug Bite? No. One of the main things holding that up actually right now is, okay, yeah, so it looks like I have 3 more that I could find. Nice.
One of the chairs is broken, so I think you can find 2. No, wait. Oh, no, okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's by it. You're right. 2 more.
Yeah,
okay. I'm not sure. The main thing that's holding it up right now is, screenshots, because I don't have a final, I don't have an actual character model, I just have the placeholder guy, and I don't have any final level content, although don't necessarily need final level content for screenshots, but mostly it's that I need an actual player character. I have done a couple passes at the description and everything, and I think it would be good to have it up sooner rather than later, but I also don't really need to push it out until I can have a couple screenshots that I do feel are representative of what I want the final game to be. Oh right, it's use. Just in case. So there's a shortcut door there, which doesn't necessarily help me, except to know there's something around here somewhere. And also I expect the game is going to take at least 1 or 2 years more before it's done. There's still quite a lot to do. Obviously, I don't have any finished level content, so there's still quite a bit to do. Maybe I need to explore more over there, which is where I just was, but if Dark Souls 2 level design can be believed, I might want to go explore more over there. Before you dropped. Speaking of bug bite, are ants the only insect species you fight in-game? No, there will be many. The plan is for quite a few different insects. The plan is to have quite a few different enemy types. No, I'm not going this way.
It's bug bite, not ant bite.
Yeah. Many bugs, yes. Slugs? I don't know. Are slugs bugs?
Don't think they...
Don't make
Someone replied yes.
So Graham...
I don't know if I'm scientifically capable of answering this one.
Yeah. So actually, Graham, I am sidestepping that issue entirely because technically spiders are not bugs. So they're actually... I'm not planning on any spider enemies. Both for that reason and also because every game in existence has spider enemies. There will be some pretty horrifying, probably even worse than spiders, bugs.
No, Luke, if there's slug enemies, you need a shotgun that fires rock salt.
Yeah, that's true. Dissolves them. There are going to be many, many weapons in the game. Spiders are friends. That's possible. No, this isn't the one I want. Slugs being the projectiles from the shotgun. So, you're actually close to this the one I want? You're actually close to a weapon that is in the game that's called the Slug Launcher. But the joke is that the bullets it fires move incredibly slowly, like they're almost standstill. Okay. Yes, this is... So wait. Yeah, I want to explore more in here, I think. Oh, I remember this room. Those guys are unfrozen now. I wonder if I can run through here. Kinda. Alright, that worked way better than I thought it would. Oh, yeah. There's a dude. This is a mess.
Yep.
This is a complete mess.
The halls of death just continue.
Yeah.
Let's just put a slow-moving door right here.
Yeah. Invincibility frames, don't fail me now.
This game has no invincibility frames on doors.
Oh, okay. Just... just running through. Oh. Oh, because an invader, probably, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's fine. Can fight him in here. Whenever he actually shows up. Are there any plans to add co-op to Dusk? There have been for years, but not until the SDK is finished. Which is being worked on, it just takes a while. Oh, right, this is the guy who hides as an object. I remember that now. Really? Neither of those were in range. Okay. I hear a sinister breathing noise. Oh, we're talking about... So, there is actually quite a bit of lore to Bug Bite. Like, a huge amount of lore. Way more lore than would be smart to write for a... for you know, twin stick shooter. But it's one of those, like, when you pull the thread on a sweater and it just starts unraveling sort of things. Giant. Oh. Oh no.
That was a Dark Souls 2 hitbox.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have more luck with this. Because that damage is not ideal. That damage is also not ideal. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, heal. There we go. There's a clip where someone accidentally led this guy all the way to the start and turned to see a barrel following them. That's amazing. So, where is he? It's annoying because, like, I can't go anywhere.
Yeah, he's just like, well, he ran away from all the enemies, so I'll just stay by them so he can't do anything.
There we go. Will there be weapon similar to Gungeon, fantasy weapons based on real kind of obscure guns? Not exactly. It's more just like it's more just like improvisatory nonsense. Just like whatever idea I have for a gun that sounds like fun or interesting. We need to get a soundbite of that for that death noise, Dylan, for like
yeah. It's very good.
That would be a good one for the soundboard.
I still need to like reinstall Condemned to get the bird pickup sound.
Yes. As long as there's nothing made up or impossible like a break action pump shotgun, yeah. No, actually, I actually am deliberately making some of the guns as stupid as possible to piss off gun nerds. Just because I think unrealistic. Oh, I see the problem. I think unrealistic, goofy weapon designs in games and media should be treasured, not scorned. Does extra laser weapon that fires through walls and does extra damage when firing through walls. That's not a bad idea, actually. Dodged right into that, and now he's alive. Okay, I'm just gonna run this way. So where? Right, cannot use bonfire. Where is he? I do have assassin bugs written down as a possible enemy type, although I don't know if their behavior would be real life accurate or not. That's true. I could just quit to main menu. Maybe I'll do that because it'll save where I am. Oh no, I can't. Can't quit to main menu. Well, that's great. Where would he even be?
Because he invaded you, like, when you were in that building. So
Yeah.
I feel like he's somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Like, stuck on a wall or something.
He's up all the stairs. Do you think? How did I... There's a hallway that leads to the entrance of the DLC. Well, I got to an area where it was, like, blocked off.
Is that up the ladder to the right?
Like, to the right of...
The guy you were just facing.
Is there
Isn't there a
ladder
ladder here?
Not that I remember, but...
Oh, there is no. Fuck, how do I get... I think there is like a way to get up there.
Well, there's that. I'm not sure how to get over there. Just gonna run past these guys. See one of these barrels? Dang it. Okay, not one of those barrels. Hurrah for hiding place. Not one of those corpses. Here's some barrels. No.
Oh yeah, try this little hallway.
This is not a mimic. This is in Dark Souls 2. Aha!
There he is.
Oh, I'm stamina starved. Dang it. The wall! My nemesis. There we go. Sheesh. I feel like we haven't had a trapped chest in a while, and that concerns me.
Wait, you didn't enjoy getting eaten by the mimic earlier?
Well, that I would, you know, I would count that as like mimic chest, not trapped chest. Because trapped chests I can't really check for. Okay, so that goes out there. Typically, he'll backstab players as they open this chest. Okay, that makes sense. Let's go see where those things went, where the path went that was blocked. Which I think was up here. Oh, it was just the shortcut to here. Okay, right. So there is a final one, or I could just try the boss battle with the 3. I think it might be worth it to try it with the 3 and just see how I get. And we're approaching stream end time, so I think that's the last thing I'll do. Maybe I should spend these souls first.
Get an attempt in.
Yeah. How much do I need to level up? I don't think I have enough to do that. Yeah, it's whatever. That's a goofy. Do I have that helmet? The mimic chest? I'm not seeing it. There's so much stuff in this game.
It's ridiculous.
Alright, so no, not inventory. So, if I remember right, we want this guy. It damages you while you wear it. Yeah, I have 3 of them now. So that's something.
Them falling with you. is so
Yeah,
good.
that is pretty cool. I believe that's what the kids refer to as aura. Woo! That tracks you. Uh-oh. There we go. Uh-oh. Uh-oh again. Ah, nice. Okay. Ooh, okay, this is bad. Oh, that was so close. Wow. Oh, I thought they were gonna try and come at me. Once again, thought he was gonna immediately try and come after me. He did not. Is it... Oh, nice. He's freezing it. Okay. Unfortunately, that does seem to take the knights out of the playing field. My silver knights, at least. Oh, that was a good attempt, though. Thank you, John Sweet P. Any chance I could get Squirrel Stapler to become a TV show? I don't know. Maybe. It's hard to know. That would be... I mean, Squirrel Stapler would be my next pick for what I think would make the best movie. That or, either that or Dusk. I'm gonna give it one more attempt, and then we'll call it after that. Because if I can, if we can, manage the numbers of them, that actually went okay. It was close. I'm wondering what happens if I, I was wondering if the knights would go directly for a portal if I made room for it.
They might only freeze when they die.
Oh, okay. Ooh. Nope, I'm dead. No, I'm giving it another one after that. That wasn't a real attempt. They just go do it after a set time. Okay.
Oh,
That makes sense. What about a crossover show with all your games? That would be wild. if you don't have at least 3 nights, then not all of the portals get frozen, and they just keep spawning even after the boss shows up. Oh wait, those aren't the boss?
Nope.
That does make me think I'm gonna want the last of those nights then. Where do you think Dark Ages got their boss inspiration from? It's true. I was half expecting them to not save between the stages in that one final boss, just like Elden Ring. That worked well.
Squish.
Yeah. There we go. Hope I have time for a heal here. Oh no! I didn't get the heal in, dang it. I'm gonna have to pancake him to have room. Nope, okay. Well, this'll... Yeah, I may want to get that... I may want to get that 4th night. That was a DS2 hitbox, yeah.
Yep.
I'm late. Have you talked about the new Quake episode? I've only played like 3 levels of it, so, all I have to talk about so far is that I think it's really cool, based on the 3 levels I played. It's interesting what they do with the health and the ammo. Like, it feels... It does feel kind of different than base Quake, just because you have less health and less ammo than you're used to, at least in the initial levels. Alright, that's gonna be it for today. I can feel the end approaching. Once I manage to... I don't know if this is the last... If this is the boss of the DLC or not. My assumption is that it is, but even if it isn't, I'm sure we're almost to the end of the DLC.
Just another year or two.
Yeah, just another year or two. So, yep, thank you everyone for coming, and Dylan for joining. And, I think we can... I think I can stream next week. But we'll have to see, because I'm trying to schedule a couple of things next week that may end up... So we'll see, but I think I can stream next week. So hopefully more toward the 1 year than the 2 years, I guess.
Just somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. All right. Thanks everyone for coming. We'll see you later. Bye.